Hello, lovelies. I'm here with your energy forecast for the week of April 24th. We're already at the end of April. I can't believe it. This week is, we're in between eclipses, and that means there's lots of changes occurring for us in our lives. The eclipse season is happening, and with it brings necessary changes that are for our highest good, for our soul's path in this lifetime. Sometimes that feels good, and sometimes that feels scary, and sometimes that brings lots of chaos, or sometimes not, because it just depends on how it affects our charts, our natal charts in astrology, and how aligned we are or how ready we are for what's to come. So I hope it's treating you well, and let's just get started with our messages. So I have two messages today, message 1 and message 2. So just take a moment now to check in with your heart, check in with yourself, and see if there's a question that comes forward about this week. Like, is there a specific question that you feel like you want guidance on? Or are you just open to whatever guidance is for your highest good? Decide that, and then kind of feel into your heart and decide, sense if message 1 is for you or if message 2 is for you, or maybe both. And let's get started. Okay, message 1 felt like, well, it says, don't turn away from an opportunity that scares you. It felt like maybe this week, there's going to be an opportunity that might push you out of your comfort zone. And a lot of people don't like that because it's your comfort zone. But there's something coming to you now because you're ready for an up-leveling. So in order to really step into this, it's a really good approach to release your limiting beliefs, which, is hard. It's hard to do. So just instead of coming into the situation with worrying energy, the guidance is to come into it with the energy of potential, the potentiality of this situation. So instead of thinking, well, I'm not good enough for this, instead think, what if I did this? What if? So an example could be let's just say you're going to join a band, or you're invited to join a band. That's just an example. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not a good enough musician, instead you can approach it well, how would it feel if I was in this band? How would it feel if I was confident enough to be a member of this band? Or what if I joined? How would it feel? What if I was a band member? You know what I mean? So you're kind of flipping it, instead of thinking I'm not good enough or what if it doesn't work out, into feeling the energy of what if. That's very expansive instead of constricting, which is worrying energy. So that's the guidance for you. Focus on the potential rather than the worry, if you can. And it's going to help you kind of get past your limiting beliefs around this topic. So I always ask them to show me an example. I guess I just gave you the band example, but the example that they gave me earlier when I was meditating is, it's like you think you're driving the car of your life, your life is like a journey and you're in the driver's seat. But they want you to know, really, it's more like a different kind of vehicle. It's more like you're on a whitewater raft, like a raft, and you're going through these rapids, and these smoother areas of the river, and then there's these more rough areas of the river. There's more fast flowing currents and more smooth, calm currents. And they want you to know that really it's more like that. Have you ever been whitewater rafting? It's kind of scary sometimes, if you can imagine. So specifically for this week, it might feel like I'm on the raft and it's going over rapids or whatever. But they want you to trust that it's guiding you. It's the river is taking you to where you need to go for your soul's highest good. it might feel scary, but that's what the guidance is. So it's always your free will. You can always choose how you respond to something, but just keep that in mind, that that energy might be coming to you this week. Okay? Okay, message 2. This message is quite different. The message is that you really need to focus this week on resting and relaxing. And you've been working in overdrive. It felt like you might have been working in overdrive or maybe autopilot, like you're kind of just going towards something, towards a goal, or just going through life on autopilot, or you've been working really hard and you've been in overdrive. But now it's important to take a rest intentionally. Take a moment of rest, because you really need to fill your cup before you can move on to the next step. So they wanted to ask you this question. What do you love to do that's relaxing? Because for me, I love relaxing by like reading a book all day. Like if I really am in a good book, I'll just want to sit and read all day. And to me, that's very rejuvenating and relaxing. But for somebody else who's maybe more energetic or more active, they might not feel filled up by that. They might feel filled up by going hiking, even though that's like not necessarily restful, but it might be like filling up their cup, you know? So you have to use your own discernment and whatever makes you feel relaxed and rejuvenated. Do that, whatever that is for you. I'm just looking at my notes. Right. They want you to know that this time of resting and relaxing is quite important, because there's a new thing coming to you later. Maybe it's not this week, but it's coming. And you really need to rest before you can move on. So they showed me the example of like climbing a mountain. Let's say you're climbing a mountain and it's going to take you 3 days to get to the top. Well, you can't go all day and all night, constant, always going. That's not sustainable, and obviously nobody can do that. What people do when they're climbing mountains like that is they climb and then they take a break and rest and make a camp for the night, and then they refuel, they rest their body, they just like take a moment, obviously, to sleep and all that, and then they keep going. So for you, it's like you need to have this resting moment before you can keep going to your summit, whatever you're working towards or whatever direction you're going towards. Now is the time where you really need to rest so you can keep going in the future. And you really need to refuel. I hope that resonates with you. That's the message for message 2. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. All right. So I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope this was helpful. If they resonate with you, please comment, because I love to read people's comments. If it does like impact you or if it resonates with you, I would love to hear that. So please comment below. And if you need any other guidance, I'm always open for, I do readings for people. I do clarity readings with the Akashic Records. I do energy readings and reading into your chakras. And I do energy healings and lots of good stuff. So if you're interested in working with me, just find me and I'd be happy to support you. Okay, have a wonderful week, everybody. Bye.